Hello everyone, welcome to Esoteric Ebb. We're continuing our adventure with the Cleric and the Dwarves at the moment. Last episode we kinda talked with those people, they're busy setting up for kind of a rally in the city. However, they have run into some kind of issues with the law, let's say like that, or at least with the documents. And we're about to check what those documents are and whether they're actually, you know, proper, right, and prim and everything as they are supposed to be. Otherwise, this particular orc, I think lady, I'm not quite sure about that, is gonna have some issues with their whole action in the city. Anyway, let's check the inventory and let's look at those documents a little bit. PPG, a permission of public gathering. This is a document that the dwarves are holding, and apparently it's probably not absolutely tight. So we're gonna examine it. As you can see, it's also like -1 to intelligence and wisdom, so probably those are like completely scuffed. But let's see. It's quite light, some kind of magazine paper. Unrolling it reveals a short statement about a political rally at the Circle Square. Magazine, a periodical publication generally containing short stories, adverts, investigative journalism, and or erotica. Anyway, permission of public gathering accepted, it says in big letters at the bottom, followed by a signature. Tolstad magistrate Nicholas Darrow. Darrow is one of the original Earthfolk houses to found Norvig with Earth. Their bloodline can still be found in high positions all around the city. The actual text uses an archaic and typically bureaucratic writing style. Intelligence DC 5. We cannot fail it. I mean, technically, if we roll 1, I don't know if this uses the rules for like critical failure. If we roll 1, then any kind of check is failed. But aside from that, we cannot fail it. So let's just try it. We rolled 7, so much better than we needed to. You scan the text again, checking for spelling, phrasing, and terminology. It is perfect, not a single error, except the date. It says the rally is supposed to be held on 16th. The document is perfectly legal, but it's expired. Have I seen this kind of document before? Yes, often. In your scribing duty, you've signed this a number of times. Look at the dates. Yeah, it's expired. Cool document. It is not. But it's cool, okay? If our cleric finds this document cool, it's gonna be cool. It's a cool document. Cool legal document. Cool legal expired document. But whatever. I don't like it. Oh, how come? Because it's a legal document, huh? So it's a cool document that we don't like. Too many words. Seems off. Bad vibes. Bad vibes. Really bad vibes. Fascinating. The intelligence is like, what? Dude, your brain works in a mysterious way. But, you know, we are just exhausting all the dialogue options, and that also kind of makes a cleric be a little bit, maybe, come off as crazy person, let's just say like that. Anyway, dude, those documents, are gonna help you. About the rally, what about it? I checked out the papers. He takes a deep breath. Okay, what did you find out, Cityman? The papers are fine. No. Actually, I don't care. Leave me out. Yeah, this paper's expired. We're just gonna help them out. I mean, if that is considered to be helpful in any way. This paper's expired like last week. He takes the papers and shakes his head. With a groan, he mutters, I know. But the date is just a mistake, you see. I personally had this signed by the magistrate 2 days ago after this supposed expiry date. They must have done it on purpose. They must have done it on purpose. Exactly. That's what I've been saying, Alphos. I hate the government so much. Yeah, fuck those burger fucks. Bah, the dwarf shouts onto the amphitheater. It doesn't matter. Whether Darrow fucked us or not, we're here and they can't make us leave. He gives you a menacing glare. And I hope for your sake you're not the sorry lad she's hired to do the deed. I am indecisive is the thing I would normally say, but I'm just here to observe at the moment. He spits on the ground. Fanskap. Fanskap is a dwarven word meaning something along the lines of devilry, common curse word. Devil, lawful evil fiend. They are lawyers. Okay. Well, we're not pulling any punches, I see. They are lawyers, soul traders, and either the most efficient type of leaders or the worst type of middle managers. Their numbers are dwindling as of late, but in Blood City Bay they still rule supreme. This is the most populated city around the coast, built upon the corpse of Gorgorian the Great and Terrible. A sprawling mess of wooden walkways and buildings carved out of calcified remains, once famous for its fleet of airships deployed during the Coast War. Known as the origin of Industrial Revolution, and while New Tazen has overtaken it as the leader in manufacturing, it still stands as one of the most industrious city-states. and the Industrial Revolution even, a period of rapid technological, esoteric, and social change that began in Old Dominar between 270 and 340 AE. It marked the shift from agrarian magic-based and handcraft economies to industrialized and mechanized production. This transformation revolutionized manufacturing, transportation, and urban life, laying the foundation for the modern industrial world. That was a swear word. You could tell because of the way he said it. Thank you, Wisdom. So about the rally, are you gonna do something? Okay, good luck fighting tyrants is the only thing we can kind of say here. Thank you, Mr. Cityman, I appreciate it. About this Asgal. What about him? Asgal, Ashmask, is a very controversial figure in dwarven myth, as well as history. If you want to piss off this dwarf, then just pretend to not know who Asgal is. Do I want to piss him off? That's the question. I'm not sure. I like him, he seems cool. I don't want to make enemies like straight out of the bat. He's Asgal, the great, the kind, the liberator. You like him too then? Yeah, a fair bit. I've got to ask though, is this a religion? Most certainly not, he scoffs in your general direction. Is it a cult? I don't know who you've been talking to, Mr. Cityman, but let me assure you, Asgal was no god or demigod or anything related to it. He was a simple man with a dream of fair and just society. Nothing more. Ouch, sore spot. He is infuriated, but not because of you, but because he has defended this position many times. A nobleman, huh? Ah, in the old country, yeah. That doesn't matter here. I'm just a foreman of the Tolstad district. How much money do you have on you? Didn't your mommy and daddy ever teach you it's rude to ask about someone's mint? I bet you're here only because of mommy and daddy. What did you say? You must have misheard me. I said don't forget to thank mommy and daddy for the foreman position. He clenches his jaw and stares at you. See, that's the difference between you and me, human. He takes a deep breath and mutters, my work speaks for itself. Alright, have fun. We're gonna leave him here. I think more we can do for him or with him, I feel like. But we're definitely gonna talk with the orc. I know this is not our business. We are supposed to be investigating the tea shop, but like a lot of stuff is happening in the city. What is that? Can I go there somehow? Attack the way bird's nest. As canny gulls, perhaps? Can I can engage with it. Oh, it's like right there. You see a bird's nest. I'm sorry, I just got like I absolutely disregarded the orc person. I saw eggs and I was like, eggs, that's the stuff. I need some eggs right fuck now. You see a bird's nest nestled on the edge of a protruding stone tile. Got some eggs in it. And you spot something shiny below as well. It appears unguarded. Must be gull's nest. Just don't climb out there, man. You'll die like for sure. With the cantrip Mage Hand, you could easily grab the content of this nest from a comfortable distance. Mage Hand, a common arcane cantrip, can be used to grab things from afar. Very useful. Indeed, it's one of the most useful cantrips in the entire game, so definitely. If only I could get my hand on this Mage Hand, that would be great. Where I could get Mage Hand? You used to have a version of your own memorized. It was clearly lost in the river. Feel sad. Feel sad is the option I would use in real life almost all the time. I'm joking, not all the time. Maybe. However, there are ways of restoring your memorization of the cantrip. You'll need a source, perhaps in the library. If you had time for a trip to the towers, that would be ideal. Alas, you'll have to make do. Perhaps those esoteric books found in the Lich House could be of use. I kinda need to go back there, I feel like. I really like to climb out there. No. Stop leaning over the edge. Okay, so we're not gonna get that. But I'm gonna go back very quickly to the Lich House. And we're gonna see if we can find some kind of like books, scrolls. I kind of feel like I checked through everything, but maybe there are new options right now. Let's engage and see. Esoteric books. Sure. Sadly, it doesn't seem like those books will give us anything of the sorts. Have we perhaps maybe not read everything? Let's see. Classic, of course, we went through those already before, but maybe right now we'll be able to find something else. Or maybe not. I really dig this idea. Nah, I don't think that's gonna be the case. I think maybe, or was it that actually? Maybe here. The Ancient Tome. Yeah, that's the one that we've checked before, but we weren't able to read it absolutely. Oh yeah, I would need to have a comprehend languages. Maybe if I have comprehend languages spells, then I can use it and read that book and learn Mage Hand, for example. Maybe that's gonna be the case. Anyway, for now we can't really do anything about that, so we're gonna leave those eggs, as sad as I am, to do that alone, and we're just gonna talk with the Agent Vera. First of all, obviously, we're gonna just make a strength check. 19! If we only had +1, I would have all information about this particular orc. That's a sad thing to, like, you know, realize. But, you know, that's tough luck. Orc, fell folk, level 4 fighter. A traveler, she's not settled here. Her belief is weak, she does not use it. Her religion is power. Okay, so it's like not that she's actually believing in anything, but the organization is giving her power in a way. Okay. Is she evil? No. Perhaps an arbitrary arm of an institution, but no mere puppet. Okay, she has a lot of strength. Wouldn't like to fight with her. She also has a lot of charisma, actually. So she's strong and charismatic. So that's a little bit different from us because we're only charismatic. But we're also kinda intelligent. So at least there is that. Okay, we learned something more about her. Let me... that was beholding. Yeah, let me actually trifle with her. To see 50 crowns. Nah, obviously I'm not gonna try to do that with my dexterity. But we're gonna talk and see what does she has to say. On the edge of the ruinous amphitheater, you see an orc sitting on one of the many loosened stone blocks. It looks like she's waiting for something or someone. Exuding an air of authority around her, the large woman gives you a wry smile. Her tusks are gleaming. Not just physically imposing, these orcs know how to exert power in other ways as well. You spot the merchant's mark on her jacket sleeve, a heart with the initials of the Norwegian Freestrider regiment. What's this? Not often we get Arvgard around here. She presents her palm to you. Vera is my name. I'm second in command guild, the agent of Tolstad. Nice to meet you. Make sure she knows you're a cleric. The showing of the palm is a casual cultural greetings in reads. Do not grab her hand. That's not what that is. Grab her hand. I really want to freaking grab her hand. I'm this kind of cleric that is gonna grab her hand. You reach forward and take her hand in yours. She's clearly a bit confused. It becomes a sort of awkward handshake. Kiss her hand. We're gonna lean into it. I'm gonna kiss her hand. You lean in and attempt to bonk the front of your helmet. No, yeah, of course we cannot kiss her hand through the helmet. But yeah, against the top of her hand. She quickly pulls it back with a laugh. She says, perhaps a name is in order first, human. She appears mildly entertained by your strange behavior. Maybe she would enjoy more of it. Hey, you see, that was a great idea. That was a fantastic idea. Sometimes you have to go against your instincts. Then it's gonna work, you know? I'm Ragn, I'm Helm, I'm the cleric, actually. Names and labels aren't important. I am the cleric. Apologies. Not Ulfgard. Cleric. I assume the term was interchangeable. The path of being a cleric is becoming even more familiar. Gain 15 XP for choosing this class 3 times. Nice. But I suppose you're not all... She says, waving towards your outfit. Esoterically attuned. Not all Ulfgard are spellcasters. Not all clerics are Ulfgard, but all clerics are spellcasters. Thank you. And the vassal of my vassal is not my vassal, or is. Depends on the situation. She accepts your annoying correction with a smile. Probably means she sees you as no threat at all. I'm her puppy. She shoots you another smile, waiting patiently for you to say anything. I'm here on an important business. Business, you say? She leans in and squints at you. Fascinating. Perhaps I can be of service, cleric, for your business. Tell me what you know about the tea shop. This is gonna be the first time we're actually doing our work. The tea shop that blew up, she says dramatically. Sounds like a magazine tale. I heard it was an accident. The Post mentioned it in passing. Minor mishap, I believe, was the official quote. Although from what people tell me, it was quite the explosion. Quite. So you weren't in the area? No, I was on the North Wall company business. North Wall is one of 5 districts in Norvik, known as the Industrial District for its many factories built along the river. This is where you live. Okay. The sign of an outsider. She calls it the North Wall instead of just North Wall. Whoa, charisma is like so freaking... Like, it focused on this little thing. I would never freaking think about it at all. I am not a native speaker of English, as you can clearly hear. But, like, I don't know if you are a native speaker, does that, like, immediately jump to you when you're reading this kind of stuff? If you guys are, like, willing to tell me in the comments, that would be great. She looks inland. Inland, a term for travel towards the endless waste, away from the coast. I did see the smoke. It was a clear day. What do you think was the cause, cleric? Don't give away too much. She's praying. I have no idea what it was, so how can I give too much? Maybe it was the tea leaves. Maybe it was the tea leaves. The leaves. Maybe they caught on fire, since they're so dry, and also leaves. Interesting theory. I've yet to hear of a tea leaf able to cause such a blast. If you find one, let me know. That would be wonderful in war. She smiles. I'm sure the company would love to sell it. Hold on. Are you here to investigate the tea shop? Don't answer that. She has no control over you. She's a free strider, so why run? Stand against her. She has no right. Yes? Why would I hide it? Really now? No, say no. Maybe. Is that a maybe yes? Maybe. Oh, we have more options now. Maybe. Oh, wow. Maybe. Can it go even further? Maybe. No, that's enough. Okay. You look lovely today. Thanks. Are you here to investigate the tea shop? Nice weather we're having. Are you here for the tea shop? I'm here to do business with the tea shop, the one that blew up. Running would be silly, but at this point, I'm here to investigate the tea shop. I love this, the way that this game handles dialogues, and I love our character, you know, for how freaking chaotically random the Cleric is. Interesting. I'll be honest, I assumed the city would just ignore it. But they send you. Perhaps it was a secret? Should we have stoically avoided the question better? It's fine, she would find out eventually anyhow. It's sort of a giveaway. Clearly someone thinks this is an esoteric mess if they send a cleric to look into it. What exactly have you heard? It blew up. Fireplace incident. Bullshit, of course. Most likely a rock spellcaster. Spellcaster. Esoteric. I keep hearing that word. What does it mean exactly? It means... Her eyes wander for a while. Her brow furrows. It's a term to describe whenever anything queer happens. Whether the cause would be regular spellcasting or something more, esoteric. I'm sure you've noticed something you couldn't explain rationally. Then that would be esoteric. Assumed you all of people would know what it is, considering she mimics casting a spell with her hands, then points to you. Mimic. Horrifying shape-shifting monster. Capable of copying the looks of any object it discovers, although with some size limitation depending on the type. If you touch it, you'll get stuck and probably eaten. By the way, I love mimics. Mimics are awesome, and I would like to meet one in this game, because I'm sure it's gonna be like a hell of an experience to do that. Why would the city avoid sending a representative? Because of the election, of course. Look, Tolstad is a highly volatile district with lots of extremist ties. I believe this tea shop acted as a sort of lightning rod. So when a place like that blows up, why would any faction spend resources investigating it? Especially when those resources could be spent on trying to win the terribly important election. A sound reasoning. While some might see it as a corruption, I would classify it more as simple, boring, but ultimately harmless bureaucracy. Well, I'm here now. You sure are. And good luck, Cleric. If there's anything the Ascani Reach Trading Company can do to help you out, let me know. You can usually find me down in our HQ on Water Lane. She smiles in a way that completely breaks down your defenses. Looking forward to seeing you there. This woman knows well how to manipulate weaker men. I like her already. Charisma is like into it, eh? Of course it is. Where's the Goblin Chieftain? Lady Sageleaf. Just head down these stairs. Good luck getting an audience, though. By moving your head to the side and using your eyes to look south, you see a garden of some sorts. You can see a goblin or two on the ramparts. Is she busy? I sure hope so. Took us months to get in a room with her to discuss some renovation in the halls. A common slang for the central spire of apartments in Tolstad, the lower ones are less fancy. Okay. If she's not busy, she's a bitch. Dragon of Tolstad, my ass. She catches herself from releasing any more profane comments. Anything else? She looks annoyed now. Oh, we've made her a little bit irritated by talking about the Goblin Chieftain. Interesting, interesting. I'm done discussing business. You want to move on to more casual topics then? Politics, perhaps? What's the deal with the dwarves? That's the question that we want to have answered. I mean, we kind of understand what's the deal, but what do you want from them? Oh, them. Complicated as anything. I wouldn't be sitting here wasting my precious day if it wasn't for them. But in short, they're holding an unlawful assembly. And they won't let me take a look at the document proving it. Not frustrating at all, she says, and winks at you. She telegraphs her sarcasms heavily. This is useful when communicating with slower individuals. Very appreciated, Miss Orc. She did immediately qualify us as slower individuals, so that's great. So explain it to me in detail from the top. It's all just an inconvenience. Her eyes say a pain in the ass. These lovely Asgalis have decided by themselves to hold a rally here on this lovely little circle square. Unfortunately, they need a permission of public gathering or a PPG. A PPG needs to be approved by the district council. They do not have a proper PPG. You pick up on her use of the word proper. What does that entail? She scoffs. It is marked for last week. It is expired. But can you believe her? Well, we don't have to believe her since we know that it has expired, but sure. And you're just sitting here because... Simple, really. These dwarves are ignoring my call to disperse, so I'm here as a witness. If they do not leave by sundown, they will be fined and or arrested. Why don't you just come back at sundown? I would if it wasn't for the fact that I need to witness the entirety of the trespassing. Since they were served during the morning, if they do not disperse by sundown, they will be inflicted with an entire day's worth of fines. I'll have an assistant do it or a secretary, but we're stretched thin as it is with the election coming up. No, I'll just sit here and smile politely. Arrested by whom? She gives you a smug grin. You, perhaps? The monopoly on violence here on Tolstad is more of an oligopoly. It will be a roll of the die to see who gets employed to handle these rude dwarves. Maybe some goblins. The city of Norvig also allows us to employ mercenaries for extra legal enforcement, but the company likes to avoid that in most cases. As you can imagine, mercs tend to lack that finer touch. There's something shady about this. Wisdom, why? Why is this shady? Why? Tell me more. Don't just shut up after just saying this line. I don't want to do anything to do with this. Do it yourself. She laughs. I love your high opinion of me, but even I cannot wrangle 12 dwarves all at once. Or however many they are, hard to keep track. They seem to almost spawn out of the ground. I mean, maybe they do, and I don't know how dwarves are born. Probably normal way, but, you know. What's normal? What is normal in this world? Sounds like trouble. Move on. Trouble would at least be exciting. This is just dull. If only I could get my hands on those PPG documents, then I could simply hand them over to the city and go home early. Or rather, head back to the office and complete the draft for the marketing meetup. Sorry, I've got a lot on my plate. She's hamming it up to get your sympathy. Truly an amazing actress. You're being manipulated. Be careful. I checked the papers, so should I just hand I solved this? I do not want to help in any way, shape, or form. I'll solve this. I'm not sure whether I want to do that to her. Good luck. Good luck, because we might actually try to solve the issue of the papers. We still have them with us. Maybe we could amend them somehow. I don't know. I think we have them with us. I think we didn't return them back to dwarves. About the dwarves, though. Yeah? Have they had enough of wasting my word? Oh, this is the same thing. Okay. Good luck. I'd like to know more about you, though. Little old me. I'm an open book. Where are you from? She doesn't answer you at first. Instead, she just looks away for a moment and smirks. She's thinking of messing with you. You mean because I'm an orc, I can't be Norwegian? She says, looking at you with a stern expression. Didn't mean it like that. You know what I mean. I do, she says, giving you a warm smile. I'm from Blood City Bay. I ran with the warbands when I was a girl. Took me all around the coast, she explains. Far from the cursed plains of Feltire. We were hired during the Third Revolutionary War in Reeds. When it was over, I stayed behind. As she speaks, you see her eyes glimmer. Those were the days. So what is like being an orc in Norvig? My kind is quite rare, so... She mumbles, her gaze trailing off towards the horizon. Some sadness, loneliness. You feel terrible for her. The occasional comment does sting a bit. I've gotten used to it. How nice of you to ask. I'm not asking for you, I'm collecting information. Yes, I am a wonderful person. Your comment elicits a spontaneous laugh. Oh, gods be damned, you are a special little man. That's the first genuine laugh from her. She carries a thoroughly constructed mask. Oh, we can attempt to flirt here with this orc. Ah, interesting. You're a strong and physically imposing woman. This is such a great attempt at flirting that they need to freaking select it. She covers her mouth and tusk with hand. Phylogenistic agenda added. Okay. She's trying not to laugh. You got one shot. She's bedazzled by your confidence. Don't fuck this up. Do it. Climb that mountain. Tell her when business is settled you'd like to take her out to dinner. That should do it. I don't know if I want to do that exactly, but let's see what options we have. But you can carry me around like a straw doll. When business is settled, I'd like to take you out to dinner. I'm not attempting to flirt with you. You got real nice tasks. I mean, I don't know, kind of like her, but on the other hand, I really am tempted by the second option. Bet you can carry me around like a straw doll. Let's do that. You bet your sweet ass. Few men get that privilege. She's desperately trying not to laugh. That wasn't very blink treasure of you. Sweet. Tremors. Be wary. This could end very badly. Constitution, command. It's okay. We're very charisma based. We can save it. Absolutely. Yeah, it's not a problem. We're great. We're so lovable and charming. Your mind races as you feel something within reach out towards the orc lady. For a moment you see yourself through her eyes. Suddenly you realize how awkward you're being, but also how you can save the situation entirely. Is this it? The forbidden art? Too powerful for anyone meant to wield? Is this the power of empathy? Really? This is not difficult. Oh, use empathy. Ah, right. This orc, she likes a straightforward attitude, so just ask her in a confident tone. Something like, when all this blows over, how about you and I have a nice dinner? I know this great place down by the river. When I'm done saving the world, let's go eat there. Oh, that's you, me, dinner. That's also nice. I want to save the world, though. The orc chuckles. I'm curious to see what's underneath that helmet of yours. Fine, human. But after the election, I'm quite busy until then. Score! Okay, then. We have completed a quest, by the way. Anything else you wanted? So you're working for the Free Striders. I don't work for the revolution. It's just a revolution. You fool. You knew that. Maybe. I work for the Ascani Trading Company. Ascani Trading Company, one of many branches of expansionist organizations along the coast. We promote the Free Strider ideals in Ascan. Currently we focus on making sure this election process goes smoothly, along with other economic concerns. I enjoy working for them very much. Perhaps not so much on slow days like this, but alas. Democracy. I don't care for it. I like the election, but you're going to lose. Sorry, I don't know any of this. You see, I am apolitical. Democracy, I don't care for it. You're entitled to your opinion, she says with a smile. That phrase has been uttered by this orc so many times it's become a ritual of self-control. Not to pry, but if not Free Strider, what are you voting in the elections only a few days away? Actually, I'm apolitical. Sad to hear, but that is also within your rights, of course. She finds you terribly boring. I'll be honest, this is one of the reasons I took this job. Speaking with individuals such as yourself, hearing what they have to say, so thank you for that. She's being genuine. Okay. Maybe we're gonna lean towards the Free Striders. I don't know. It depends on, how it's gonna be presented to us. It's way too early right now. I'm done asking questions. Oh, silly me. Talking about myself all the time. What about you? I'm not important. Stare off into the distance. Saying it like that makes you sound anything but. Well, for now, at least, we're gonna nod our heads and leave. I'm interested. We seem to have completed a quest, and this seems to be the... Oh, those are the, Arcanist political... Oh, so the choices we're making move us on this kind of like a... what even to call that? On this kind of leveling bar, I don't know. And maybe, if we reach the end of it, it's gonna, help us in some way. Anyway... Phylogenistic agenda. Woman, they're everywhere. Your wolf as a man is based only on the admiration you get from them. Your goal? Get a date. A real date. Good luck. Okay, we did that with, we've promised to have a date with Agent Vera. I wonder if our cleric is like a man that's gonna be happy with only one date, or maybe we're gonna try to do something else. What the hell? There's an imp here. I think it's an imp. I'm not sure. And there's a dragon, and I think it's a graffiti, basically. Let's check. Goblin wall art. Not the graffiti. It's goblin wall art. Very distinctively and legally different thing. But let's check it out. A green face is splattered around, across the facade, staring wildly towards a flaming sky and the dragon spirit across it. Or something like that. Can you call this art? What does it mean? It represents a devotion, albeit in an asinine way. The coins stand for all the fat loot the dragon brought to her people. You could get behind that. The fire is the soul, a boundary between the real and the heartful. What does this tell me about the state of Norvik? Nothing, really. That goblins are artists? All folk seek a belief. They have simply made one out of this supposed dragon lady. A coherent thought from the Red One? Impressive. They should worship Earth instead. There we go. Back to insanity. I'm gonna place the hand upon the wall. You take a step forward. The painted stone surface is smooth. This is no cheap dwarven rock. This is Gate-era architecture disguised among the rest. You feel an esoteric urge to communicate with this object. This is... we have an advantage. That's great. It's still gonna be difficult. We're gonna try because of the advantage, but you know... Yes! Those were amazing rolls, by the way. Both of them. You know how the advantage works in D&D, right? It's basically you're getting an extra roll. So whenever you are asked to roll for a certain thing, you roll 2 dice and select the better roll. The higher one, usually. You sense a crack in the wall. It wasn't there before. Then you hear the voice. A faint voice. A hoarse voice. Secrets end when spoken. Oh, good. You're not crazy. Talking to walls now. Awesome. What's it like being a wall? Nothing. Nothing good or nothing bad. Nothing. In isolation. What do you know about Norvik? Nothing. Do you know what Norvik is? No. Who built you all? A god. Which god? Eomestra. Never heard of that god. Oh, that was DC 20. Jesus Christ. Sounds like a weak god to have been forgotten like that. How old are you? 15 Malines. How many years is that? 2000. Gate era could have been built by one of the Yorspies. What's your name? Chansey. That's a pretty name. Okay. Okay. What's your political... That's us, not him. What's your political affiliation? Fear. Oh, that's also my political affiliation, actually. That and Desperation and Sadness. Those are all 3 political affiliation that I subscribe to. So great. Are you sure you understand the question, though? Yes. Alright, then. Those are all the questions I have, Wall. Give it a pat. Okay. The crack disappears as quickly and silently as it came to. Then silence. That was surely an esoteric event, or else you're turning mad. Nicest wall you've ever met. Bow to the wall. Thank you for your time. I hope no one was looking at us, maybe aside from this cat, because I don't think they're gonna think highly about us talking with walls. But, well, you know, it is what it is. There's a cat right there and we are gonna pat it. That's for sure. However, first of all, there is this, I think it's an imp. Braxo, Pencil Wing. Let's try its strength, so that's not gonna be... Oh my god, we're not gonna learn anything. Nothing at all. We just don't know. This guy is a mystery. A complete mystery that we need to basically try to unravel by ourselves. So let's talk with him. You raise your head towards the sky. Above you sits a tiny red creature. His wings flutter faintly in the wind. The Fiend throws a quick glance your way. He's annoyed. Staring at a piece of paper, he does not acknowledge your presence. What you reading? A sigh escapes the Fiend's maw. He slowly puts down the paper. The paper is actually a torn-out page from a magazine. He appears to be reading an article on the latest debate. I like the funny pictures. I believe the Fiend is being sarcastic. I like the pictures too. Yeah, I imagine you would. He's mocking you. Wait, he says, leaning in to get a good look at you. Urfgard, a cleric. Hell's you doing here? You can go wherever you want. Fuck off. I'm not allowed on Tolstad? Of course you're allowed. Just not often you guys are here. I, for one, am very happy for your presence. This place has gone downhill since the city let the goblins and free striders run amok. Oh no, the devil's a kiss us. We need some damn order in this place. Wise word. So if you need any legal advice, just let me know. He gives you a tiny sharp smirk. You should be aware of the fact that this is literally a devil. A good little devil. You can hear out any advice, just don't listen to it blindly. Are you a barrister? A tiny barrister? No, I have no legal position within the city. I'm just fairly knowledgeable in the magistrate's code. So he works with city law. Ask him for details. He shows you a full grin. So what type of work do you do? If you love what you do, you will never work a day in your life. He says and smirks. So what do you do? Me? I do scribing most days. Got some connections within the palace, and believe me, phew, that's gotten me through some tough times. See, whenever some rich asshole needs a legal draft in a hurry, who do they send for? The guy with the wings, that's who. He does paperwork. Then he must be highly knowledgeable in law. That's always on call, huh? For sure, but I get around quick. What do you do in your spare time? Calligraphy. The art of writing and lettering, something you're quite familiar with as well. A true man knows the value of lettering. Oh, and I do love me some reading. Gaining access to the Darogan library changed my life. The largest public library in Norway. You spent many years in your youth inside those tiny walls. What's it like being a little red guy? That's absolutely not a racist question at all. We're still gonna ask it, but you're just acknowledging the fact. You want an honest answer or the one I tell my clients? Honest. Okay, let me put it like this. It fucking sucks donkey shit. You know what it takes to get a promotion these days? No. We're talking decades of servitude to some sadistic fuck that wants to return the Gorgorian's greatness or some shit like that. And then, after risking your life, humiliating yourself, there's a chance that this fucking guy will put in the effort of promoting you. And if you're unlucky, you'll turn into a freaking bug. Or worse, something without wings. Being a devil is a harsh existence. It requires constant vigilance, hard work, and incredible natural talents to reach any type of high-tiered devildom. You would do quite well as one. Because what? Vigilance, hard work, and incredible natural talents? That's actually a compliment, thank you. Tell me about those promotions. Sorry, forgot. Not everyone knows how Devilkin work. Let's put it like this. Devils have a ranking system. Some are lower and some are higher. Only way to get higher and metamorphose into a more powerful creature is to be promoted by someone with a higher rank. But hey, it could be worse, he says, and cackles. Could be a demon. Demon, chaotic evil fiend. They are mostly bloodthirsty monsters and rage-crazed barbarians fallen out of Hekshi. But some of their more civilized spawn do reign in the cities and realms surrounding the Endless Maw. Hekshi is one of 8 bands along the coast, means either growing maw or into the air in Abyssal. A deeply cursed jungle hellscape filled with volcanic rivers, flesh-eating insect. Flesh-eating, for the love of God. And murderous blood flesh-eating is a thing I didn't know that I can't imagine even, and now I do for some reason, and I want to escape that imagination that is currently working overtime. Anyway, once an elven sanctuary, now home to demonic warlords, tiefling cities, and celestial crusaders. Tiefling, a folk with demonic or devilish blood in their veins, often have features such as horns, tails, red or blue skin color, and various esoteric abilities. Demons are horrible, chaotic creatures that live by the rule of complete meritocracy, which would be amazing if it wasn't for their complete ineptitude at civilization building. So what are you voting in the upcoming election? What am I voting for? Same as you, the little devil says with laugh. The good guys. And that means the city. The elites are quite literally feeding me my trove at this point. You'd think I'd vote for someone to topple them? Voting in his self-interest, as anyone reasonable would do. So you're being selfish in your voting? Yeah, who wouldn't be? You think those dwarfs would be voting for some hippie-ass gullies if they were the ones with the palaces? I don't think so, not for a second. Anyway, you wanted something else? I'm done. I've asked everything I wanted to. He throws up his little arms in the air. It's over by the gods! So dramatic. Love this little guy. Can you give me free legal advice? Ah, yes. I gladly assist a member of the Urvgard any day. Just ask. Should I invest in stocks? I do not give nor have ever given investment advice. But, he looks you up and down. I should ask, have you ever bought shares before, Cleric? I don't know what that is. Okay, some basics then. Popularized by late Divine Era human adventurer companies, a share is essentially a percentage of ownership of a certain venture. Divine Era is the third out of 5 eras, when the first gods were born out of mortal folk, and power began to entirely fall into their wonderful and fragile hands. Could be a guild, could be a company, or a specific adventure, something that is supposed to grow over time so you can increase the value of your securities in that venture. It's a risky way to increase your capital without actually doing any real work. Gods, this devil is good. Learn from him. Why is it risky? Sounds like free money. Good question. Imagine you invest in an adventuring party. They head into the Virgin Hills to dive into some Gate-era tomb or an esoteric area filled with talking cats. Something weird and dangerous, but with potential for a lot of cool treasure to be found and brought back. There's a major chance that those adventurers die out on their journey. If they do, you lose all the money you invested. They could make it back, in which case you'd get a percentage of the treasure based on your share. But how often do adventurers come back with a bunch of treasures these days? So, should I buy stocks? Look, there are rules in place. Norvik has laws governing what one can and cannot suggest when it comes to financial agency. Your god made those laws to protect people of lower than average intelligence from being tricked by those with ill intent. So where can I buy stocks? You can buy shares directly from a venture trader. Basically, someone can give you a piece of paper that says I owe you with some legal information on it. Or you can go to Trade Hub. I don't think that whole stock exchange is open until after the election, though. Have you ever bought stocks? Sure. I spend about 40% of my income in risky ventures. Sometimes I even get paid in securities, which is nice since I won't have to pay any middlemen. Could people buy stocks in me? The little red devil stares at you. If you were to set yourself up as a venture, then maybe. I mean, if you could convince someone to invest in you, you know, without breaking any laws regarding investment advice, I'd be impressed, so why not? What about currency trading? That's something I've heard about too. Oh, that's just the art of switching between various currencies. Say you've got a pouch full of old embers. That is the old draconic coins. They're made out of gold, so even though there are no governments these days who support it, you can always just sell them for the gold value. Great. That's the most basic form of it. But when it comes to city-backed currencies, it gets more complicated. If you get 10 brim marks, which is currency of the Blood City Bay and its subjects, they come in both paper form and soul-infused iron coins, Jesus Christ. And let's say you want to convert them into Ritzian tens. How many do you get? Tens is the currency of Free Strider Revolution. While free cities have multiple currencies, the magical paper money of Ritz is quickly growing into the most valuable. I don't know. Me neither. The value of each currency fluctuates day to day, as does the exchange rate to each other currency. Not to mention the location as well. Tens are powerful because of the far reach of the Free Strider trading charters. Brim marks are near useless in Norvik, so the exchange rate, while still not nothing, is quite low. That makes Blood City Corporation way less interested in investing here, which then perpetuates the weak value of their currency. 6 of old Diminor are used in some places, sure, but bring them out in Norvik and any shopkeeper will laugh at you, holding out those shiny little crystal discs. The currency of Tazen during the Arcane era, it's still in use in some places, but these magical crystalline discs are only supported by a handful of cities in Leeds. While the penning is accepted automatically, almost as if it's a slightly less valuable crown. Then the soul is on the other hand extremely valuable, just because of the Golden Horde's influence. Golden Horde is remnants of a celestial empire in Divinitorum, led by horrifying Qua, a hyper-intelligent light being they spread fear throughout their lands, as well as parts of western Ascani. Divinitorum, on one of 8 bands along the coast, it is an askew plain, a slope growing into the sacred wasteland, home of celestials, birdfolk, originally halflings, as well as the scars of divine warfare. And the Ilim Yanpala, those weird little ice cube, well, I'm guessing you've never seen one and never will. Take one to an exchange station and they will quite literally think you're messing with them. But yeah, that's some info for you. He has been factual. He has been long-winded. Nice rant about coinage. He nods and grins. Economy, you know, messy and fun. That's all I have to ask about stocks. We still have some questions to ask, actually a lot of questions to ask, and we definitely will ask them in next episode. Thank you everyone for watching. If you like this episode, I really hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. That would make me a little happy, a very happy person even. Anyway, thanks for watching, take care, and see you in the next one. Cheers!